I've got a watch on my wrist.
Right, we have recording. We have it's recording.
Turns out it's not just
Okay, let's
time.
go. Let's go.
It makes me feel
Hello
like
and welcome
I'm
to
alive.
Time and Time Again. My name is Alan, and in today's video I'm going to be taking a look at the Smith's PRS-60. This is the Smith's Commando that's literally just dropped on 4 days ago on Sunday. I was lucky enough to be one of the first to get this watch. If you've tried to buy a watch before from Time Factors, you will know how difficult it is to actually get one. Whatever watch it is, they literally open for around about 2 minutes before everything's sold out, and they're only open, it seems, every couple of weeks or sometimes even longer. Now, this particular watch was mentioned, I think it was around 18 months ago. They were talking about doing this diver watch, and 18 months later it's finally arrived, and I believe there was 150 pieces on Sunday and they all went within 2 minutes. You really do have to get it down to a fine art when you're buying from the Time Factors website. I literally sit there and wait and keep refreshing. I sit there from about 10 to 2 when it opens. I keep refreshing, and eventually the sold out button turns into a buy button. But that's only part of the story. When you click buy and you get it into your basket, then you've got to go and view the basket. Then you've got to obviously pay for it as well. And a good tip would be to create a register for free on the website before 2 o'clock, so you're signed in and ready to go. And also, if you've bought before on your computer, you should have your card details with an autofill option. If you've got all that, then it's literally putting the security code in to activate the payment. I'm with HSBC, and they have a thing now where any online payment, they want to authenticate on the app, which means it's another step for me. So I have to go to the app on the phone, accept or let them know that I do want to make this purchase, and then back to the Time Factors site. And all this can take a couple of minutes, if not more. If you are slow in any way or something happens and there's a bit of a delay, by the time you get to make the payment, you'll get the sold out sign, and you, even though you've put it in your basket, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to get it. It has to be everything done, including the payment, and then you have to get the notification that yes, indeed, you have managed to get one. So it can be a bit of a stressful buy, and I've done it in the past and had a little bit of a hold up, or I've put in my security code in wrong, something like that, and that's all it takes to miss out. So that's just a little bit on the buying experience from Time Factors. But once you get the watch, they're usually really good quality. So without further ado, let's take a look at this brand new PRS-60 from Time Factors. Okay, so just a couple of things before I start. This is actually take 2 of my unboxing. I've just taken this out. I've just spoke to the camera for the last 5 minutes or so. I've had my first look at it. I've taken the cellophane off. I've resized it, and then ultimately realised that I hadn't pressed record. So this is a kind of unboxing which is 5 minutes later, but things have already been opened, so thought I would explain that. Let's pretend that hasn't happened and this bag is still sealed. I'll do my wrist check. I'm wearing my Zin 556A. This is my favourite watch of all time, and when I started this channel, I made that was my first video review I did was on this watch, but looking back on it now, I can probably do a little bit better than that. So that's going to be one of my upcoming videos. Also, I need to talk about the C63 Sealander from Christopher Ward that I unboxed a few days ago, and the Trident Pro 300 from Christopher Ward that I did a short-term review on. That video is going to come up next, but for today, I've just got this, as you know. So let's pretend we're unboxing for the first time. So there we go. Oh, that's nice and ripped for me already. That's cool. So I'll throw that to one side. Let's get it out of the box. Again, should be a bit easier this time, surely. And voila. And I've just realised, I'm pretty sure there was a plastic pack over this as well, which I must still be on the floor from earlier, but never mind. Here's the travel pouch. Really, really nice looking. Has the Smiths logo on there and the name of the watch, Commander, so that's really nice. It's do a sniff test. That smells lovely as well. Whether it's leather or not, I don't know, but it smells lovely, and it's a leather type travel pouch, and it has spaces for 2 watches inside. So we'll take a look at that now. Already unzipped it, and yeah, there's the space for another watch. If you're going traveling somewhere, you want to take a little pouch with 2. This is ideal for that. And we get the Time Factors cleaning cloth as per usual. That's a nice cloth. And then inside here we have the PRS-60, which is cellophane free now because I've already done that, and I've managed to size it to my wrist as well. I actually left the cellophane on the front because I was going to do that in the next shot, so I can still do that at least. But here is a first look at the PRS-60. Now there's only a couple of unboxing videos that have already appeared because it's only, they were only available from Sunday, so there's a couple of guys beat me to it. Great videos, and both of them said the same thing with regards to the case on this. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit here. The case style and shape is very Seiko-esque as opposed to the slab-sided Black Bay 58, for instance. So I do like that. It's a bit of a chunky watch, but I think that might be a little bit deceiving. Once we see it on wrist, it won't look too chunky, but I'm sure it's something like 14.6 is the depth. But it does have this domed sapphire crystal on there. I will get the dimensions. I think it's a 45 lug to lug. Tell you what, let's have a quick look on the Christopher Ward website whilst I'm here. Yeah, it's 45 lug to lug, so that's a nice compact length for a small wristed gentleman such as myself. And it's 14.6 to the top of that sapphire crystal. We have 20mm lug width, which is, as you know, fantastic for lots of different strap options. The case diameter, which is what really interested me in this watch, was 38mm. So again, ideal for a smaller wrist. So looking forward to getting this on and seeing how it wears. Let's peel this off. If I can get hold of it. Here we go. Yes, it's another looker. I've only done a few of these videos so far, and each one so far has looked fantastic in this lighting that I've got. But this, yeah, this really does shine, and you can just see at the top there the blue hue from the set coating underneath the sapphire. So that's a nice look under the light. That looks like a nice ceramic bezel as well. Okay, sorry, I've just snuck this in because I completely forgot to have a listen to the bezel action. You'll see it's on my leather strap now as well, so at least you get to see it on that. I think it looks fantastic on this leather strap. You'll also see it again at the end with this strap on. But anyway, just wanted to slip in the bezel action. So let's see if we can. I don't think you'll have any problems hearing that. It's nice and loud anyway. Feels great. No real backplay to speak of. Not too hard to turn, and it's not too easy to turn either, so that's, yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's just see if we can get it lined up, and how does it look on the alignment. It looks pretty spot on with regards to alignment as well. Anyway, back to the video. And we have the Mercedes hands, very similar to a lot of the Smith stuff. The PRS-25, for instance, has this pretty much the same look. Certainly the gilt dial one does, and this is very much like that. But obviously we have now have the in a dive style watch, which is great. The Smith's logo just below 12, and the font just above 6 doesn't actually say Everest, which is probably fitting for this watch because it's not the Everest. It's a diver, but it just simply states 300 meters, which is not. I mean, I do like symmetry, and from 12 to 6 as well, with something above the 6 is always nice. Although in the case of my Zin, I don't have anything there, and that usually bothers me, but it doesn't on the Zin, because that's that's another story anyway. But this, yeah, that looks really nice. And we have let's zoom in a bit further. Let's make that camera still. We have the pip at 12 o'clock with the red pip. Very similar, of course, to the Black Bay 58. This does have obvious similarities with the Black Bay 58, but like I say, with a bit of a Seiko style going on as well with the casing. So it's a nice combined influence on this watch. I'm sure there's other influences from Smiths back in the day, many years ago as well, but it's just something I'm noticing because I've had the Black Bay 58 and I've also had a few Seikos, so that is what I'm seeing. We have a signed crown. We have female end links, so that's going to really help with hugging the wrist. Always like to see that, particularly with having a small wrist. It can be problematic if the end links are male and making the watch longer, but it's certainly not going to be the case with this one. Interesting case back as well. From the couple of Smith's watches that I've had, the PRS-25 being one of them, usually just a kind of a plain polished case back on these, but that's a nice bit of difference between that and the PRS-25. It's got this centre part here. Very nice indeed. And we will now take a look at the bracelet. So we have some brushed links, and we also have polishing on the sides with no faux rivets, which sometimes they do faux riveted bracelets at Time Factors. This one doesn't have them. I actually prefer this look without any faux rivets. So yeah, let's just pause on that dial for a moment and just admire it. I'll try and keep it as still as possible. I know someone mentioned in one of my videos that they would like to see a few more still shots close up on the dial, so hopefully you're watching and you appreciate this. But that's really nice. We have a nice milled clasp. Oh, that's something else I wanted to mention with this as well. On my PRS-25, there's a huge gap from where the bracelet locks, and when it's on wrist it's really noticeable. A little bit similar to my Zin. See this gap here. On the PRS-25 Expedition that I had, this gap was at least double that, and it really bothered me. This bothers me slightly on the Zin. This could be better. If it was like that, I'd be happier, but it's not. But this is nice and flush, so that's lovely to see. And also lovely to see 6 micro adjusts on here as well, so should be absolutely no issues getting this fitted to any wrist. Like I said earlier, I've already sized this now, but I've taken 2 links from each side. I'll probably take one more out because currently I've got it on the tightest it will go on the micro adjust. So I'll back that off and I'll take one more link out, which is usually the case for me and my 6.25 inch wrist. I tend to be taking 5 links out usually, and I've only taken 4 off this. One thing to mention on the resizing of this, on the couple of unboxings that I've seen, at least I think maybe both of them mentioned that the screws were quite hard to get out and little tiny bit fiddly because it's only a 1mm screwdriver that you need as opposed to a 1.2, which I find on watches usually makes things a little bit easier, but it's 1mm. Don't get me wrong, I'm really grateful for having screwed in links because it's certainly better than the other alternatives that you can usually get. But I also did find them quite tight to get out and back in. But that's not a complaint. I actually quite like the fact that they're very secure like that. So that's my first look at this watch. Let's get it on my wrist and take a look at it. Oh, I'll take my trusty Zin off, put it to one side. I'm having a couple of issues undoing that because I'm so used to the Zin. It doesn't have pushers, but this Smith's does, which is a good thing actually. I like that, but I was trying to undo it without using the pushers then. Anyway, here we go. One word. Wow. I think that looks spot on proportion wise on a small wrist. Let's just back the camera out a little bit. Back to ×1 and we get a better look at it. from this angle. Let's see if we can see how it hugs the wrist. I think it's not too chunky. I did worry that it might be, just because I was thinking about the SKX013, and when I've had that on the wrist, although it's an ideal size for a small wrist, it does come across as a little bit chunky. Now this one doesn't. I don't think it does anyway. That's my first impressions. I think it looks well proportioned, and the clasp and the safety lock on there means that that's pushed up nice and tight. There's hardly any gap on there, and that's much better than the one that I had on the PRS-25, and it's better than my Zin as well. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, that looks lovely. So what I'll do now, just to end this, I will mention that I will do a short-term review in a few days or so. I'll keep this on wrist for a few days and see if any of my initial feelings change. But in the meantime, I will leave you with some. On my previous videos, I've done a bit of strap changing at the end, and people seem to enjoy that. So I'll do my usual thing, and I'll put the straps that I try on all my watches on here. I'll just put a couple of them on, actually, because some of them won't actually suit it. I don't think the orange one will suit it because of the gilt on here. That's what I found on my Black Bay 58. It was a little bit less choice-wise because of the gilt. But you know what? I might actually try it anyway, and you can let me know what you think. So I'll leave you now with some different straps, and I will speak to you again in a few days' time. Also, thanks to everyone for subscribing. I'm currently on over 400 subscribers now, so I'm getting towards halfway to being able to be an official kind of YouTube creator, and maybe get a few pennies for doing this kind of stuff, which would be cool. But yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks again for watching. Peace.
I've got a watch on my wrist. I never knew it could feel like this. Turns out it's not just telling time. It makes me feel like I'm alive. And I don't wanna hear that I've spent too much. 'cause I can't put a price on this love.